Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pigsty. Thank you all for coming. Peace and respect, as Richard would say, to everyone who's been here tonight. All four of yous watching. Wee! And for all the others watching later, shout out to everyone that's here as Darg, Heroic Debates, and 420. Thank you all very much for coming. As usual on a Tuesday, we're going to do the whole Richard Says Aliens, I Says Crazy. Yous all have been here before. Yous all know what it's about. Richard, for the ones who don't know, would you like to give a quick introduction to yourself?
Ancient Aliens is true, but not the way that the educational entertainment channels present it. The ancient religious stories are talking about a very, very ancient society of highly advanced human beings who told us these stories so that when they come back and actually do what they promised, we'll be able to adjust.
I was watching a wee bit of Michael Tellinger the other day. You know Michael Tellinger?
The big crazy hair guy?
No. That's the ancient. No, it's aliens. That guy. No, that guy's from ancient. No, Michael Tellinger. He is a Stitchin fan. He's South African. He's convinced that the aliens came here. Adam's calendar and all that crack. They came from Africa. They were here for our gold. And I was watching him the other day, and he was like, "Oh, there's gold in our body. We just can't detect it. But the aliens can, but we can't detect it." You know, and it's like when we die, you know,
we can detect gold.
It's so little amounts in our body that we can't detect it and all this here. He was waffling on the maddest shit I have ever heard. And like, I used to follow Michael Tellinger, but this is like, I don't know where this man pulls this shit from. Like,
that's where I've heard the name before is from you.
Yes. I used to follow him. I emailed him last year and he said give him a wee while and email him again. He might be on for something. But that would be interesting to have you and say Michael Tellinger have a conversation.
My gosh. Look, okay. If anyone wants some scholarly review, which is not meant myself, I'm theoretical review. Go to Digital Hammurabi and search their channel for Bitchin' about Sitchin.
Yeah. There's 3 videos in total.
What's that?
There's 3 streams in total.
Where they show definitively that Sitchin did not have the education, misread the language, which were the foundations of his claim, as to what princely seed means. But that's another thing. It makes no logical sense that someone could cross perhaps a galaxy, but they can't mine the gold immediately with machines. That's just dumb.
I was dropping your link. I was like, if anybody wants to listen to an ancient alien guy that actually has some sense, there's really like 500 people watching. I'm just like, check out Richard, check out Richard. So if your subs have went up and you've got a few crazy comments, that's my fault.
Oh, thanks. There's no crazy comments unless someone's purposefully trolling. As long as a person's honest, I'm going to give them the respect they deserve.
Well, other than that, Richard, I think we've covered everything. So if you would like to just jump straight in with your wonderful voice, I do believe we were on 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
Another beast coming up out of the earth. So if you would like to lead us. Hi, Seeking. Hi, God equals square root.
Yes, peace and respect to you all. Even the late arrivers who missed the very beginning of the show. Even those people.
Yeah.
11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. I'm asserting this is his god, Satan, the dragon.
Is it not already there?
What's that?
Is the dragon not already there and healing the Antichrist?
He has been remotely empowering the beast of Satan, but now he's in direct contact. He's right there standing beside him.
I would take it the implication through the previous bits that we've read that he was already in contact with him. You know, if you're going to heal him and stuff like that and tell him, we've had discussions that, you know, the devil has come down and talked to him and You know.
I think the devil is who he's been worshiping since his big religious experience. That's where that religious experience came from.
Uh-huh.
That it killed one of his 7 heads, which was love. He doesn't have any now. And he's healed of it. That is, he's okay. It didn't physically kill him, even though he lost everything, his wife, his children, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that's been done remotely. It's been done mentally, not physically. And it's not until the dragon is cast down to the earth that he's there physically with the beast.
Is a mention of the dragon being on the earth before this, though?
Yes.
Yes, so the dragon is on earth. So now another being,
That's taking it as only one recollection when there's 3.
So in the middle of a recollection, we're going to start another recollection.
I don't get to rate this. So,
I understand
the structure is what it is.
I understand that you don't get to write it, but your interpretation of the idea that it's a retelling of the same thing while we're still talking about it the first time. Like, there's no jump, there's no start of the story, there's no, like telling the story 3 times, I can understand. Because it's got a start, a middle, and an end. But you're telling me the end, after the end, the second time round. It's not start, middle, end, start, middle, end.
No, it's not.
It's start, middle, end, end, end. It's just a continue.
Try to imagine Jesus' brain that this makes sense to him.
I don't care about Jesus. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so it's odd. I agree, it's odd.
To randomly just start talking about the end of the story again before finishing the story.
Yes.
Like, there's no that doesn't make any grammarly sense. It doesn't. That's just your interpretation that's making it that, seeing it that way.
Well, let's look at it the opposite way. Let's say there's 3 different characters being mentioned here instead of 2, right? Now, I'd like to know where the 3rd character goes because he appears nowhere else.
Well, just because it doesn't write down that where he goes afterwards doesn't mean that he didn't leave or did stay or wasn't there to begin with. Stating he didn't leave does not mean he didn't arrive.
Right. But it's like playing a major character as a minor character, and I wouldn't think that makes sense either.
I wouldn't consider it a minor character, considering that it's the person who's coming and helping out the Antichrist.
Well, he's a major character right here, but then he just disappears if there's a 3rd entity. And he's never mentioned again, so he's being dismissed as if he was a minor character, and that doesn't make any sense because he's mentioned, and only big players are mentioned.
In your opinion?
Well, I don't know anywhere in this where a minor character is mentioned.
It's a beast. It's talking about the end times. It's using animals and these things for descriptive power.
Yes, it is, definitely.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a person or a thing. There could be technology. It could be anything. I want to know how you make the inference that it's the devil. Even though it's described the devil in a completely other way, it's said that the devil is here. It's said that he's on earth. It's said that he heals this guy. It's said that he's give him the power. And then all of a sudden another character appears.
It did end it with Faith of the Saints and that little summation right there. And then it starts again. And it tells a different perspective with different details.
No.
And it says he is like the lamb, having 2 horns, and speaks as a dragon. But this word dragon right here has been, so far, a reference to Satan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's speaking like the devil.
Yeah.
See you later, dog. Oh, happy birthday, Trusty Ip. Yeah, it's a continuation. There's no definitive end. It says, and I beheld another beast coming.
Doesn't say and.
Okay, fine. I beheld another beast. It's not saying the same one. It's saying another.
Mm-hmm.
The text itself is saying it's another creature.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 3rd entity. I think this is again just speaking about Satan and the beast of Satan, and that's all. Do you think it's a third entity, or am I misunderstanding?
No. I'm just saying that your idea that it's two, considering the way that it's the way that it's written, and the way that it's presented, and in the context of everything before and after, the story is letting me know that it's a third person. Because it says another.
Yes.
And it says that they came. Another. You wouldn't come or have to come if you're already there.
Right, you wouldn't.
I get.
On the last show, you said I was allowed 3, and I only used 2 contradictions. So this is my third one.
As long as you admit that, that's fine. We can move past that. You know.
I know it. I know it looks funky, and I know there's almost. I mean, if this were easy to sort out, if a person could just think through this and figure it out, it would have been done a long time ago.
Oh, come on. That has to be a fallacy of some sort. You know.
No, really. Plenty of people have read this and tried.
Yeah.
And if what I'm saying is correct, it's because it's not me. But if it works, it works. And that's the way I look at it. It either works or it doesn't.
Right. Now, just by saying it works and it's fine, it's grand and all the rest of it, because it works doesn't mean that it's right.
Right, but it's more likely to be right if it does work than if it doesn't work.
In a general statement, but in this particular context of me saying I've 2 people and another one came, and you're telling me that it means 2, if I said that and then I followed it up with the 2 people were there, I'd get a slap for being stupid, because it's like 2 people are here, another arrived, that makes 3. It's simple mathematics.
Yeah. Let's see if it keeps holding. Or if it clarifies in context further on in the text.
Or if you have an interpretation that aligns with what you believe.
Yeah.
Okay. And he exercised all the great power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. See, first. Why do you have a first if you don't have a second?
You do have a second here.
Yeah. That's a beast, not a dragon. This particular beast, which we would agree is the Antichrist, is giving more priority than the second one. It is the second beast. So the devil is lower than the Antichrist.
To the people, that would be true.
The way that this is written is giving more credence to the Antichrist than to the devil. Suddenly, all of a sudden,
that would be true to the. Well, the devil's not even a human being. He can't be the face of the movement. And that needs to be a human being who's the face of the movement. It'd be like South Park, right? Where the Pope has a conundrum that he's faced with. He doesn't know the answer, and he says that he'll go to the highest authority. These great, massive, steel-clad ironclad wooden doors, and they open up, and this 30-foot spider comes out of the mist, and the 30-foot spider is the authority on Catholicism.
That has no relevance, and I would agree with that statement. It is no. The sentence says another person arrived.
Yes.
The sentence is given credence to someone whom he created, whom he gave the power to.
Let me read this again. And try to see what you're seeing. I don't immediately see what you're seeing, but let me see if I can see what you're seeing. Okay. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. All right. So out of people. And he had 2 horns like a lamb.
Hold on. No. Don't add that. According to you, people is waters.
Yes.
Right? Now, whenever you read earth, we've already described earth in about 20 different fucking ways here. You can't just...
Doesn't mean it's an earthworm.
No.
To come up out of the earth is, people on the planet.
No, in the description of this and the way that this has been talked about, and to come up out of the earth, considering that there's already a hole in the earth.
Where's the hole?
Where's the hole? The hole that all these fucking robotic things and all flew out of from earlier in the story. That's here now.
Oh, the pit of hell.
The pit of hell.
Okay. Okay.
Right? If you flew out of the pit of hell, you would be flying out of earth.
That's a good question. That's a good point. Coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like the lamb. He spake as a dragon. So you could even say speaks the words of a dragon, or the way a dragon speaks.
Didn't speak.
What?
He didn't speak the words of a dragon. He spoke as a dragon, clearly making a statement that it is not a dragon, i.e., the devil. It is speaking as that person does. You cannot speak as yourself. You just speak.
This would be better. How about if you read it and explain to me bit by bit where your mind is at? That would be even better.
Another beast. That means it's another beast. Coming up out of the earth does not mean coming up out of people. It means it could be coming up out of the earth. They're talking about creatures. We've been talking about things in the ocean. So creatures coming up out of the earth. Person, as you take it, coming up out of the earth doesn't necessarily have to be the devil. To worship the first beast. The devil ain't going to worship Antichrist. It's always the other way around. All right?
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causes.
Who are you? I'm in 12.
In 12. Yeah.
All right.
And causes the earth and them which dwell therein. In other words, this situation to worship the first beast. Which first beast? The one whose deadly wound was healed.
It still says another. It still says,
This does look like 3.
Yes.
Why do I think it's not 3? I don't know right now.
Well, if anything, the point of this show is to leave you asking questions. Fuck the audience.
That can
love
happen.
Love you, audience. Hi back. I'm reading this as a third person. Relative to the story, they are a major part. Just because they're only written about for a small period of time does not make them a minor person. Like Jesus only gets, 4 books in the Bible?
You never see a third one anywhere else, though. The only count of 3 is 3 devils, 3 demons, 3 bad spirits, you could say it those ways, that issue out of the mouth of the beast. There's 3.
I just read this as 3 people.
They're described as like frogs. So like lowly, slimy, nasty, crawly critters.
Oh, excuse me.
Crawly, hoppy, slimy, froggy critters. So the idea of lowliness and disgusting and stuff like that.
Right, hold on. I've got a comment here from God Equals Square Root. So the Antichrist, the devil, and the dragon are all fictional beasts in the story. No leprechauns, unfortunately. Hey, Jody. No.
Are all fictional. They're fictional characters right now, for sure.
Story based, according to you.
Yeah, story based. They're not real, like you and I are real right now, and they wouldn't be unless they actually showed up and you experienced them.
Right. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Keep identifying that guy. Yep.
Yeah. Excuse me. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. This sounds like, I don't know if I'm putting it in a movie or something like that there or whatever.
Maybe this is the third one, is the statue itself.
I'm thinking the third one is an assistant to
yes,
Jesus.
It is. To who?
To Jesus, or to the Antichrist, sorry.
To the Antichrist, yeah.
Yeah. So you think...
Yeah, it is.
Right, well, you've got God, okay? This guy sees the devil as God. He's overpowering. He's, oh my goodness, all this here. And God comes down and says, I'm going to give all this to you. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to give you the power to, communicate with the governments and all that, as we've discussed before. Hey, Hive, I would expect that you can't just bestow this knowledge of being able to do everything, okay? Now, the knowledge has been given to you and stuff like that, but you don't have the fucking knowledge base to be able to communicate with a world leader and convince them of something. You could stand there and shout your alien shit. They're just going to kick you out of the Oval Office. You're going to have...
What he's given is a plan to rescue the planet. Like, it would take care of global warming. It would take care of nuclear radiation. It would take care of food problems. Like, a plan that would work.
The point I'm making is the second beast. Check Richard's audio now. It should be a wee bit better. The point I'm making is if the Antichrist is there and you've got, not in your end, on my end, Richard, the devil would leave somebody there that already knows, already is aware of this, sort of like a secret agent, sort of like an alien in disguise, an assistant for the Antichrist, to give him the knowledge and help him out.
Okay, what I think this is an inanimate object that can move and kill. And if I said there was an inanimate object that moves, that's a machine. So it's a likeness of the beast, which does things. Like, it kills people and stuff.
No. That, what you're talking about is how did they describe it? The image of the beast that took life. Okay.
Right.
You can't tell me the thing describing the image of the beast that took life as the image of the beast that took life.
What?
The second beast.
That fried my brain.
The second beast convinced everybody to create an image, which then came to life and killed people. Correct.
Okay, according to people in their perspective, he makes fire come down from the sky, which is part of a prophecy, which supposedly proves who he is. But he's using that to deceive them that dwell on the earth by means of those quote unquote miracles, powers. Had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth. I'm going to have to go and look up these words and pray about it.
Right. Well, this is
what I'm going to have to end up, because I think the interpretation is too loose.
Right.
It's using the word beast to describe both the beast of Satan and the one who empowers the beast of Satan, who is a beast, no doubt, but just the same.
Well, the reading of this is there's a dragon. The dragon is the devil. The dragon saved the first beast, which you have established is the Antichrist. There is now a second beast who has abilities to do shit. So to me, they're an alien of some sort. Not necessarily the devil or God or anything like that, but embrace
something with great power.
Something with power. They then convince everybody to create something. So let's say, for talk's sake, we convince all the governments of the earth to create a cyborg robot. Where did this information came from? It came from the Antichrist second in command, who's really smart and all the rest of it, but secretly an alien. That's a third person. Now you have the image of the Antichrist, which is your giant walking, talking cyborg.
Is that a fourth entity?
No, that's the image of the beast that came to life.
Oh shoot! I think we just agree. I just don't think of it as I don't think of it as an actual living thing, because I think it's a robot.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is I get what you're trying to put across. You're trying to tell me that this third beast is the robot. Well, the third beast is the one that convinces everyone to build the robot. You can't convince everyone to build yourself. It says there, saying to the people who dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which, right, and the power to give life onto the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So the third beast, the second beast has created the image of God, or the image of the Antichrist, has brought life to it, has made it work. It can't be the same thing.
Okay, I have in the past looked at this as being repetitive, and that there's two living characters and the machine character. And although it's using the word beast too loosely too often, and that just messes with people. I mean, I'll go back and review this.
I personally don't care if they call it a gula wula walla walla bing bang, alright? The fact that they say another, the fact that the third thing, the fact that this second beast or second walla walla bing bang or whatever the fuck we're going to call it, then creates an image of the Antichrist that comes to life. Whatever you call the first one, it can't be the image of the Antichrist that it creates, because it convinced people to create it. So it can't be the same thing, regardless of what the word is.
That's solid. I'm not saying it's not solid.
Yeah. And the translation of beast makes no fucking point then.
I mean, they're using the word beast a lot here, and that's an English translation of some pretty darn ancient ideas, which maybe are not represented best by the word beast.
Okay, call it Walla Walla Bing Bang. It still is describing three...
It's just Walla Walla Bing Bang's being used too often here. And by the way, you just spoke in tongues.
I didn't.
And that means that you're inspired by the Holy Ghost. Now we just need an interpreter of what you said.
Walla Walla Bing Bang is lyrics from an old 90s fucking song.
Are you saying it doesn't mean anything? Oftentimes, the person giving the speaking of tongues does not know what they're saying. It's okay. Don't feel weird about it. I'm totally joking.
Oh, I get that. But if anyone remembers Walla Walla Bing Bang, I think that the band used to dress up in like a cartoony sort of thing, like the comic book characters or something.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with you.
Something like that.
The witch doctor told me exactly what to do, and he said
something like that. Walla Walla Bing Bang. There you go.
Yeah, I know that song.
That's where my brain went. Don't ask me why. But that's where my brain went.
That's what all of them are doing in churches anyway. They're just pulling crap out of their butts. Don't worry about it.
I'm not. It seems to me as three people, and he calls us right.
It's a decent argument. All I know to do is go back and look at it and pray about it. That's all I know to do.
And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is
By the way, right hand is fighting, defense, and work. That's what right hand means. And to the Hebrew people, right means correct. Like this is your correct hand. Right? And the forehead means thoughts, feelings, stuff like that. So in the right hand in the forehead, it doesn't mean like you get a tattoo or a microchip. It means you either physically work for him, because you have to, or you believe in him in the mind. It's not like a microchip or some crazy stuff.
You know.
There's so many people saying that stuff, dude. I had to address it.
Oh, yeah. No. I get that. People, like, you know. Yeah. Left-handed people are satanic, obviously. Is that why everybody got fucking beat, you know? Beat the left hand out of them.
Yes. To be left is to be wrong. Because it's the opposite of right, which is why we call it right. We call this hand right because it's the right hand.
No. I don't think
opposed to not being the wrong hand. I'm not kidding you.
No, I'm pretty sure that that's wrong.
No, it comes from the Hebrew expression of what it is to be righteous. I'm not joking.
Okay.
It literally means to be right.
Yeah, the word right means to be right. Okay, I agree with you in that. The word door obviously means door. Will you agree with me in that? It's a fucking nonsensical statement.
Right as a direction of mind. Not right on the right hand side of my body.
But you're making that a connection.
No, that connection was made a really long time ago in like the ancient Near East.
Okay, so the reason that we turn right over left is because right is the correct way. Because
I know it's goofy.
Okay.
It's not true in reality. It's just an expression, you know.
God equals the square root of -1. My mother has witnessed that. Like, people and knew people back in the day that had been beaten by the Catholic nuns for being left-handed. Like,
Yep.
right. Here is the
Yeah,
wisdom.
you're-
Let him hath understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it's a number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, that, before we continue, that sentence, that's the end of a story. That's the way
Yes.
you end a story. That's the way, if you're going to repeat it, now you could repeat it. Sticking it in the middle of a story that is exactly relevant to the one you're talking about is not a...
Wait, it just did that at Here's the Faith of the Saints.
No, it's ending.
10.
No, you're seeing an ending of a story. I see an ending of a statement at the end of every chapter. Because it's about reinforcing things. You can tell a story and reinforce the same point over and over again without having to repeat the story.
Sure.
And the fact that, you're telling me that the repetition of the third part of the story was just this last 4 paragraphs of an entire story, even though the bits that we're trying to think is a repetition is exactly relevant to all of the bit before it, doesn't make no sense. Like.
Okay.
And your reasoning for it is, I didn't write it.
My reasoning for is that this is intended for some specific brain somewhere.
Which you would agree, yours is very close to.
I got more than I ever wanted, and
you're in direct contact with these people. Even Jesus doesn't get this. You are held.
What?
Jesus doesn't get the Jesus of this earth does not get direct contact with the aliens till they get here. You already have direct access.
He doesn't. Of course he does. It's part of the story that he does.
So you and Jesus are both communicating with the aliens in the same way that you communicate with them.
I would think that Jesus is immense at this sort of thing. Like infallible and stuff.
So only you and Jesus out of the entire world.
No, actually what the text says about it is when those days are at hand right there at the door, like you could reach out and touch them, that kind of expression, they're right there. Old men will have visions, and young men will dream dreams, and this will start happening. Your daughters and sons will start having revelations and prophesying.
Yet
real prophecy, not stupidity.
By your own statement, when you look for this, you can't find this anywhere else.
Find what anywhere else?
This story, this interpretation of the Bible, this religion, nobody else. It's just you and people who have been influenced by you. You said yourself, you looked, you spent time. You can't find any other religion or anybody else.
I can't find anyone else saying this. That's true.
Nobody else out there saying it. So either it's not the end time.
Just because I can't find them doesn't mean they're not out there doing it. It's a big world out there.
Right.
Lots of folks.
And just because you make the statement that it's possible doesn't mean that it's probable.
Right. It doesn't mean either thing.
Two statements just mean nothing.
But if the prophecy about prayer between those in heaven and those on the earth is true, that they're going to start like revealing stuff to people, and I'm a person that had something revealed to them, I'm honored. Don't get me wrong. It's a huge...
Richard, don't mince words. You say revealed to you. You have direct contact with aliens.
That's what I mean by revealed.
No, yes, but people see and hear revealed, and Christians hear revealed, and they've been through revelations, and they aren't... The difference between having a Christian epiphany, where you go through a revelation, and a fucking alien talking into your head are different for everybody else.
It should be the same exact thing.
Only you see it as a revelation. Everybody else... Okay, we're going to ask a question to the audience. When Richard talks about the alien directly communicating into his mind, would you like to hear Richard say, I've had a revelation where this information has been given to me? Or do you think it's more honest to say, I prayed, I heard an alien talk to me, and the alien told me this?
I didn't pray. Prayer happened to me. I did not actively pray. That didn't happen.
I asked the audience what they would prefer you to do. I didn't say that you did do something.
Let's not throw a false premise in there.
Revelations is not the word that Mark Reed would describe it as. You describe it as a revelation because of what it's a revelation for you. That's why you describe it as a revelation. But for everybody else, it's a fucking alien talking into your mind. Okay?
Yeah. That's the same
I can make
thing,
a
though.
statement in a Christian worldview and say everybody can experience a revelation.
Sure.
Right?
You can get a revelation from your mom.
Exactly. It's not the same thing. Not everybody is in direct contact with aliens in their mind.
Actually, I think you are. And have been several times in your life. In the majority of your life. And you're so used to it that you think it's normal. And it is normal.
And as we have discussed last week, you can't tell me the difference between an alien giving me this information and me as the descriptions that I give. From
sure I
not
can,
necessarily.
And I have.
You that's what I'm saying. You just do that.
Now, I can and I have several times. And usually when I present that, people start making appeals that don't make any sense in reality and aren't part of our experience.
Okay, maybe they're talking about you and
then
I'm talking about when you describe me.
Then they start appealing to the subconscious mind and what the subconscious can do. And that's a one size fits all blanket. You could always say something like that and it seems reasonable. But if you have information you literally could not have been exposed to, you can't invent valid information from your subconscious. It doesn't have magical powers.
Again, Richard, these are all wonderful points. But, hey, Terry. I lost my track of thought now. The point I'm making is you are directly in contact with aliens. As in, you're aware of it, you can ask questions, and if you're worthy enough, they'll give you a direct answer.
If it's the most beneficial thing to do, they'll give you a direct answer.
Okay, let's not fuck about and mince terms, Richard. Are you
It's
going
not
to
about
agree?
being
Are you
worthy.
going to
No.
agree or not that you can
I
communicate?
agree several times.
Right, so you can communicate with aliens. Okay,
It's
through that
happened in my
communication with aliens, right?
Yeah.
As we're going to describe it from now on, through that communication with aliens, you have came to an understanding of the Bible, which to you believe is the correct interpretation. Yes or no?
At the level I understand it, yes.
At the level you understand it, right? Still,
There could be yet a deeper level. I don't know.
of course, everybody can know more about something. That's we can always learn more. All right,
That's fair.
right. But not everybody in the fucking world is saying I have direct contact with them. Not everybody is making these statements. You say that we can't tell the difference. All right? But if you can't tell the fucking difference in me and show it to be in me the difference, right? Then it's just your opinion.
Right.
So according
Which
to
is
you,
why I suggest exercises to show that you can do this.
okay, and according to you, the only people that have direct access to this is the people who understand it, which you keep claiming can only be Jesus.
I have some understanding. That does not necessarily mean I have every understanding.
That's fine, Richard. But I can make the statement that I understand mathematics, and I can also make a statement I don't understand all of mathematics. It doesn't take away from the fact that I learned maths.
Yeah,
right?
but it doesn't make you godel. You're saying like your level of mathematics makes you godel. It doesn't. And you don't think you're godel.
I am telling you that you have been given a mark of respect from the alien's point of view that is higher than all of us.
Not all, I don't think.
No, possibly not Jesus, as you say, but he's the only other person that you can show, and you can only show through this. You can't show in actual real life and say, here's another guy that we can go and talk to. But you infer from this that the only people who can understand this, and then you throw this little bit in to make sure that it's Jesus to the level that God understands it. Doesn't matter. You're understanding it more than everyone else.
Maybe I'm just more honest.
Richard,
than most people are able to be.
We have Mark Reed asking, how is Richard demonstrating the communication method with aliens? At the minute, Richard's prediction that he made is there is an asteroid. Richard, if you can give us the name of it, KSC something, is it, or something like that?
Sure, I would. It's called Comet C 2017 K2 Pan Stars.
Right. Now that donates that this meteorite was found in 2017. Richard's been doing this.
Yes.
I didn't meet Richard in 2017, so I can't confirm it. But Richard, since I met him, has been saying this story. He's been telling me about this. So the prediction as it's going now is that this particular this particular comet will be impacted. Something will happen, and this comet will break into 6 pieces and crash into Mercury. That is Richard's prediction.
5 of the pieces will hit Mercury.
Fuck off.
That's
Richard's prediction. So that is what Richard is using at the minute to, I would say, I wouldn't validate. I don't know.
What's really interesting, and since I won't affect reality by saying this, we recently crashed a dying satellite into a passing stellar body, and we are, I believe, right now finishing up an impact missile to change the course of traveling bodies through our solar system. And I just think it'd be hilarious if they shot that explosive rocket at K2 Pan Stars and broke it into 6 pieces.
We talked about this last week. I thought for a split second when I seen it that that's what was happening. I was like, oh, damn, get your go bag.
No, that was just a dying satellite. They used it for something else.
Yeah. I know that, but as I said to you last week, the moment I heard it, I was like, if this fucker breaks into 6 pieces, I'm like, oh. But that is where Richard's going. If you follow Richard's channel, Mark, his links are in the description. There's plenty of hangouts and stuff like that there. You'd find Richard and this discussion more everywhere than on his channel. You know, there is bits and bobs Richard does on his, but Richard does be everywhere when he's not live.
Mark Reed just agreed to, at my suggestion, not his, that we have a conversation, and this might be a good time for him to back out of it if that's his inclination.
Sorry, I was replying to the great leader in the chat. All praise spooky bed hairism.
Spooky bed hairism is the way of this earth.
So, sorry, could you repeat that for me?
I was just kidding with Mark Reed, saying if you want to back out, now's a good time.
You have a chat coming up with Mark, do you?
Hopefully. We're trying to put something together. So far, tentatively, he has agreed that we could put something together. Not we should. But I'd like to.
If you ever need anyone to host that, you know, I know a baldy guy with 2 thumbs that's really good at it.
Right? A baldy guy with 2 thumbs. I think Mark Reed is intelligent and honest and sick of the Christian crap.
He lost to Jill really badly, though, if you ever seen that.
Sure he did. Just ask Jill.
Oh, broke myself there.
Who was that? Sky Out. Sky Out used to do that. I've never lost a debate. I will never lose a debate. I'm the greatest debater ever. Come on. Stop it. You lose every debate.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Nobody wants to debate him on slavery anymore because it's been confirmed he knows his shit.
Oh, you've got to be. Yeah. Well, he doesn't know that in the slavery laws, the word father means alba, as in alba, meaning the father, the chief father.
What?
And he doesn't understand that master means sovereign, and there's only one sovereign in the Bible. And that's a conversation between Jesus and the Father. That's what the slavery laws are. It's not talking about literal freaking slavery at all.
We are very lucky to have Terry in the chat as well. Terry has never lost a debate either.
7-day argument, Terry, oh my gosh. Stop cherry picking, you logically fallacious goofball.
Be nice to my audience. Be nice to my audience.
But he's a goofball. Everyone's disproven this argument. Everyone. All you should have to say is, Dear Terry, I want you to know that's called cherry picking and it's a logical fallacy. And the argument should be over. He should go, oh, wait a minute. I did take from this part and this part and this part and put them together and make a new idea. I did that. And no, it has nothing to do with the Holy Ghost. Nothing to do with God. Nothing.
And Terry replies with, Aliens? No, sorry.
Yes.
Fair play. That's
Fair play, but Terry just has a different label for the same aliens. If I asked Terry if angels are real, he'd say yes. If I asked if they'd ever habitated on this earth long term, he'd say no. If I asked could they come here, he'd say yes. That's an intelligent being, able to act on reality, who doesn't live here and can come here. That's an alien, bro.
All I got from that was Terry, the 7-day cycle guy, ripped out Richard. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm not saying he's being unfair in that. Aliens, yes, but he already believes in aliens. He just calls them angels.
Okay. Right. Chapter 14.
Is it a new topic? Should we keep going? Nope, it's the same topic. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion. Boy, there's a lot to talk about here. And with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Okay, here you go again with something written in your forehead. Does this make it a mark of the beast that there's like a tattoo or a microchip? Grow up.
The way it's written literally does, yeah.
It's a belief. That's how it's in their foreheads.
Oh, I can see your interpretation.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to stay with that because I think that's consistent and it makes sense in reality.
Unfortunately for me, more than anyone else, you just need to talk, and I understand most of what your point is over there.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry at all. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Okay, so this is obviously Christ and the 144,000, sometimes called the army of God. And there's good reason why the name is written in their foreheads. They are quote unquote sealed, i.e. convinced. There's good reason for that, and it's about to get into it. Okay, here we go with another waters. And I heard from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn the song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. Go ahead.
Four beasts.
Yes, four beasts.
Said four beasts.
These are the beasts around God's throne. These are not the beasts of Satan. Yes, he used the word beast a lot.
No, you're correct. Sorry, I was just thinking the three that we discussed plus the cyborg makes four. I was going to do it.
Yes, it would. I get it. Yeah. But these, I mean, the word beast, it just got translated beast too much. I'm going to go look into the word beast and see what it should have been. It's just, wow, they made too many words beast. So I don't know what to do with that.
That's some homework for you.
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit of homework. Okay, so the 144,000 are sealed in their forehead, and they learn a new song, and they follow the Lamb on Mount Zion wherever he should go. So that's in other ways of looking at it, and a little bit of expanding on the ideas in exegesis and eisegesis. It's the quote unquote army of God.
Hold on.
They're the first fruits.
Okay.
The first one's redeemed. Not the only one's redeemed. The first one's redeemed.
Now, it doesn't say here. It says as if it came from heaven. Now, you're in agreement that heaven, small h, lowercase.
Sky, space.
Sky. Not heaven itself. Okay.
Right. Uppercase habitation.
Right. So making a clear distinction that these people who are singing are not singing to God and all the rest of it. They are singing as if they were from the sky, using it to convince the people on earth.
Right. They're recently from the sky because where they learned the new song and had their right hand strengthened was in heaven on Zion.
I'm just saying, you're telling me
you're consistent
that your interpretation says that the four beasts is the four beasts in heaven and beside God.
Yeah, the four beasts around God's throne with the face. They are heaven.
They're not there.
They're not in heaven. They are heaven.
No. Heaven's a fucking spaceship. Now you're convoluting terms again. God is a group of ideas. God is a group of ideas. The Father is the Jesus from the previous earth. We all have positions and stuff. This is heaven. You're showing me a spaceship.
Those are the 4 beasts right there. I'm pointing at them.
That's okay. You can point at them in your picture all you want. The writing that we are reading is talking about being on earth, and agreeing with your interpretation of these writings. When they use lowercase, they are specifically not talking about heaven. So we are not talking about heaven.
That's not always right. It's not always true that with their presuppositions. Hold on. Let me explain. So quick.
It's not right when it doesn't suit my fucking story. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's not it. Okay, the same root word exists to the Greek, right? And it got translated as heaven, but it was up to the Christian interpreter, one doing the work, whether or not it should be upper or lower case. They can get that wrong.
So you make a distinction where you clearly state that capital H is heaven, spaceship. Lowercase isn't. Now it doesn't suit. You're like, the guy got it wrong. I'm right.
And I make a big deal when I think that they're right too. So yes, I'm biased. You fucking
stuck up your own self-righteous.
Yes,
cunt.
Of course. Who is not?
I'm right, and this fucker's wrong, and all these
Aren't
people
you right
are wrong.
about what you're right about,
Richard?
Or are you wrong about what you're right about?
If I make if I make a statement about something, and I am definitely clear, and I say capital H is heaven and spaceship, and lowercase means sky. If I'm then reading something, and in my interpretation of it, I think, I really wouldn't use that word, but the people who study this probably do know better than me. Like, you made it...
The problem is that heaven is literally that way. It's in outer space. And outer space is literally that way. And all of it can be called heaven. Okay? And I made a big deal out of when they got the capital H right. And now I'm making a big deal out of them getting the capital H wrong.
No,
is it within my reading view?
It's not that this happened twice.
Within my view.
It's not that this happened twice, and once you made a statement, and now it didn't. You made a statement, capital H, lowercase h, and have used that statement for a long time. And now this one doesn't suit you. You're like...
This is not an exception. What I'm saying is that there is capital and lowercase h. That matters. And I think it's awesome when they get it right, but also it can be evident when they get it wrong.
Listen to yourself. You're making statements and saying, this is the rule up until I decide to change it.
No, I'm not.
You fucking just did. Because you're right and these people are wrong. And then you justified about the confusion. Right. Then you justified the confusion because it's like spaceships are up that way. You know, so silly fuckers. Don't justify. I just admit that you made a rule for the applied reading of this, and now that it doesn't fucking suit, you're changing it. Don't fucking justify.
The rule doesn't change. I didn't change it.
Hello, Linda. Linda is
the rule can't change.
Linda is a very nice lady. I was on Linda's channel last week, and it was very late, and we ended up. Of course, I was talking about Elena and showing pictures for fucking ages. Linda, shut up. You know what I'm like. I love Elena.
G. Edmondson.
Shout out to Linda.
She seems lovely.
Very nice lady. Very nice lady.
Okay, so no, I don't think that I changed the rule. I think it's possible. You can keep saying that, but I don't see it unless you show me how I did that.
So you want me to go back and look through all the recordings and show you where you make a big deal over and over again about the hitch.
I'll trust your memory about the rule. And I'll either know that I said this is a rule. I know that I did say it was a rule that uppercase H means the habitation, lowercase means sky space. That's the rule.
Yeah, except when it doesn't suit your story.
Look, man, if they're talking about the habitation of God, that's uppercase heaven. If they're talking about the stuff above our heads, space and sky, that's lowercase heaven. It's too often the same word. They should have used different words than the word heaven, but they didn't. Okay? Like, if they'd had the term outer space, they would have used it. They didn't have the concept of outer space. Okay,
I
so
understand
I don't
your
think I changed
justification.
it.
I
I'm
understand.
just disagreeing. My whole thing is that I disagree with the way they interpreted it.
I think
That's
this.
my whole thing.
I think this is going to go down the lines of where our religions diverge again. All right, and this is a
You
big.
don't have a religion.
This is a big divergent because the actual what's going to happen if we stick with my story, unless I'm proved wrong.
Agnostic. You don't have a religion.
Just like you. Oh, everybody's been here for ages. Hey, thank you, Pagan Mum. Thank you, Whiteheart. This is where our religions are going to take a major. This is like Protestant Catholicism split. All right, because I'm going to claim that these four beasts are the alien, the devil, the Antichrist, his second in command, and the giant cyborg robot. That's the four beasts. So you're gonna have to show me where it states that they are in heaven, and I would have instantly, by the way, given to you if that H had been a capital. But seeing as it's not, you're gonna have to show me something else.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Yeah, and if you don't, and this particular point of the story has no other relevance on the rest of it, and from my interpretation, we're making this shit canon live on air, people. All right.
Okay, so the sentence in 14:2 is, I heard a voice from heaven, which is probably all that there is. And there is no word "and" there. I'll almost promise you that. They just put these conjunctions in for English. I heard voice from heaven. Okay, that's a complete idea.
It doesn't exist.
I heard voice from heaven.
You're telling me
the word
that's
there is probably not there either.
Okay, but you're making an inference. You're not stating that. Okay.
Anyway, I'm talking about the major ideas. I myself, me, heard using the hearing, voice, a sound, and heaven. What the hell do you think is talking in the sky? Birds?
No. You are.
Of course, there's something in the sky talking. It's not freaking birds or air.
I am not saying that they are not in the sky talking. According to.
Well, then it has to be.
No. Please let me get my thought out. Earlier in this story, fucking episode 3, 4, whatever the fuck it was, you're talking about thunder and noise and all the rest of it. You have it already established in your religion that these aliens can use the atmosphere to transfer messages vocally through the whole world.
Yeah, using a PA system
that works through the atmosphere, that can be done everywhere. So we know that the aliens
conduct sound. Yeah,
we know the aliens have the ability to do that. Now, it doesn't say anywhere here that they were in heaven. In fact, it says the fucking opposite, except for this one time that the rule's wrong. It says they're singing from the sky.
Wrong. The rule didn't change.
This is the exact opposite of the rule.
There's intelligible voice coming from the sky. Where do you think that intelligible, audible with the natural ear? You can hear it, literally.
Yeah. So you're going to tell me that
but there's no speakers in the sky. There's no person in the sky speaking. There's nothing like that. It's just the open sky.
Yeah, I'm not fucking.
That doesn't make any sense.
So the aliens...
Open skies don't talk.
We have established that the aliens can use the atmosphere and reverberate sound around the entire world to communicate with the entire world, basically like a big alien tech PA system.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Apparently.
Now, shut the fuck up and don't interrupt me. You're making the statement that they must be in heaven, spaceship heaven, not sky, to do this. And I'm telling you that they don't need to be. They've got a spaceship, just like a wee mini fucking, I don't know, an APC with a speaker system on. They don't necessarily need to be in heaven. They could be on the other side of the fucking universe doing this. The point I'm making is the sound is coming from the sky, not from the spaceship. That's the definitive point.
Okay. If I listen to Ice Ice Baby, on the radio
Any
is
song.
my radio making the song Ice Ice Baby.
Are you trying to just wind
No.
me up now?
This is
Okay.
what you're doing.
This is what I'm doing.
Yep. You're saying the radio made the song.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that the people creating the thing with their PA system, the PA system technology does not necessarily have to be on the Heaven spaceship. It could be on a
No, that's
little
fine.
APC spaceship.
No, that's fine.
It could be sitting at the top of a mountain. It could be sitting
No,
at the
that's
other
fine.
side of the universe. But it's them making the noise reverberate through the
Yes.
atmosphere, not the
Now,
giant
where
spaceship.
are they?
They're in the sky.
They're in the what?
The sky.
The what? I'm sorry. What is that?
Lowercase heaven, meaning sky.
You cheated.
I
They're
didn't.
in heaven. They're
No.
not in the freaking sky.
The rule states, capital H, lowercase h.
They're in uppercase heaven. They're oxygen breathers. I don't care where the sound is coming from.
My eye's not working. Pretty sure that looks lowercase to me.
I don't care that it's lowercase.
You're
They're
right.
in heaven.
Okay, so the statement that has been made multiple times before that if they use H, capital, it's heaven, spaceship. And if they lose lowercase h, it's
Unless they
sky.
get it wrong.
Is only applicable when Richard feels fit.
Well, I'll tell you what happened right here. The interpreter understood that a person reading this would understand that the voices come from heaven, the habitation, but were heard from the direction of the sky and wrote the word sky, lowercase heaven, which isn't a problem unless you think that clouds make intelligent voice.
No, I never said that. I said they have a different spaceship that makes it. And regardless of
Well,
where...
then we're saying the same thing two
No,
different
we're not.
ways.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
According to you, heaven is one spaceship, and then everyone else is their own 23 others, and they all, obviously, I'm assuming they have spaceships that can go up and down from planets.
Heaven's the whole thing. Yeah, they probably have some kind of transfer devices. Sure.
Right, and I'm saying that the transfer device could have a PA system on it. It doesn't necessarily have to be the giant group in the sky.
No.
And just to point out, I hear a noise. It's coming from above me.
Yeah.
I suddenly know where the noise is coming from. But have I got technology that I've discerned that it's coming from
Yeah.
this spaceship? Or am I just making a fucking emotional decision?
Just no. You're not making an emotional decision. Okay, imagine if I made this claim. Hold on. Let me present to you an
I love the way
imaginary
you
claim.
interrupt me so much and I lose my trail of thought, but I can't interrupt you. But go on ahead, yeah.
No, we keep doing it to each other, and both of us have a problem remembering staying on track. If I were walking through a forest and the wind were blowing and tree branches were rubbing on each other, and I heard creak, I would just think, oh, that's the wind blowing. But if I heard a distinct blue, I wouldn't think trees rubbed together and created the word blue. I would automatically go, that was intelligent. There's someone around here who said blue.
Good that you stuck that last wee bit on, because I was going to say, if you were walking through a forest and you heard blue, you really shouldn't hear colours, because that's a bit fucked up. So that's definitely an alien.
The word blue. Not, I didn't hear the color blue. Although I've heard people take some drugs and you can have all kinds of perceptions, but I don't know anything about that really. They say they can hear or see music.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what that means.
I've experienced seeing sound. Just drink a lot of caffeine.
Oh, you're one of those weirdos who make that claim. I don't believe it. But anyway,
fucking a lot of alcohol and fucking caffeine involved that night.
right.
The point is, Richard, they can't tell where it's coming from. The statement H, lowercase h, heaven, is both applicable to both you. Don't you dare interrupt me. I let you rant about your seeing blue. It is applicable, and technically we both could be right, because the people on the earth who hear noise from above are going to assume it comes from big ass mothership, even though it necessarily may not. So you can use the word lowercase heaven because the sound came from the sky. You were adding the second step to it and going, well, fuck me, there's a giant spaceship in the fucking sky, it's probably coming from it.
yeah, I am.
Right. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be. It could be a small
Okay.
APC. That's it. Little small ship travels up and down. It's saying lowercase. It's making a statement that the sound comes from the sky and not from the ship.
I think we've run it into the ground. I think we know where we're both staying there. I think we're good.
I'm kicking you from the stream. Fucking.
I don't.
Ah.
I would kick me.
Right. What are we at? 4. Oh, we're about to get to the defilation of women. Brilliant. Isn't that just lovely the way the Bible does that sort of shit?
The what?
I don't know. Is defilation and defilation? I don't know. Women were defiled is the sentence.
Oh, they didn't defile themselves. Not that women are defiled.
Right, we're going to stop saying that phrase and just read it and move on. Right, cool.
Okay, so here's one of the rare occasions where the Bible gives a definition for what it means.
That you agree with in English.
It is, yeah, and it came out okay in the translation. It's really pedantic. It's overstated, but they wanted to be clear to people like Jehovah's Witnesses who think they can become virgins again, that you literally can't. Once you have had intercourse, you had intercourse, period.
Right.
That's how it works.
Okay, that's how it works on a physical level or a memory scale. Right. No, there is a difference. Breaking the hymen, you know. I can understand. Right. No, let me just say that's the definition of a lady after you get a new body. You believe you get a new body. So you physically.
Those who perish, yes.
Yes, so you physically could have a body that has never went through sex before. So don't say you literally can't become a virgin again. In this reality, I agree with you. In yours, they give us a new body.
Oh, if you're literally reborn because you physically died, yeah, you get a new body and you.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened here yet.
Doesn't matter whether it has or has not happened. Under your belief system, you just made a statement saying you literally can't become a virgin again. Yet in your belief system, you can. You just get a new body.
You're right. I should have been more careful. You can't become a virgin again with the same body.
Okay.
It was a technical point, but I have to agree with you.
Yeah, you were just being fuck them Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witnesses could be right. They could become virgins again because they get a new body.
Yes, but what I was talking about is how the many Jehovah's Witnesses believe that adult males who have kids, they have kids, naturally produced kids, could be part of the 144,000. No, you're not.
Yes, Jehovah's Witnesses is wrong. Check with Richard. He knows.
Yeah. Okay, moving on then. These were they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. So there you go, virgin, didn't have sex. These are they which follow the Lamb wherever he should go. Interesting that it's 144,000 and they follow Jesus. These were redeemed from amongst the men, being the first fruits, not only fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And then we have, and their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of God.
All right, hold on. Now, virgins, follow the Lamb, whosoever God. They were redeemed among men. Right now, you added this, being the first fruits, not the fruits, and then you moved.
Not the only fruits. I added not the only fruits.
Right. Well, the word first gives that away. You can't have a fucking first.
Yeah, I think so too.
You didn't a minute ago. Yeah. Oh no! Fuck you! Fuck you! You didn't a minute ago when we were talking about beasts.
What did I not think?
The first beast, second beast, and you were like, "Oh, that's a different beast." The word "fucking" first means there's a second. No, it's the same.
Yes, the first does mean there's a second.
Okay. All right.
And I already
somebody go and find 2 clips.
Look at those words. I already know what I said. I don't have that kind of like short-term memory loss. I know what I said. I know what you said. And I told you the only thing I can say is that I'll have to go back and look at it and pray some. Right now, that's my answer.
I agree with the interpretation, and I'm not fighting you on what we agreed because we agreed, but I guarantee you I could take a clip from then and a clip from now, and we could make a little 5-second clip where you would contradict it.
Sure. Cherry picking is fun that way.
It is, especially when you're making fun of your friends. It's hilarious.
Cherry.
Hello, Sergeant Sam. Oh, and Crypt is here too, and Stephanie's here, and yeah, brilliant. A few people coming in. Brian, I see Brian Stevens. Right, so are you telling me that these 144,000 that we're talking now, having his father's name written in their foreheads?
Yeah.
Now,
Learning
this
a
is
new
the
song,
army.
right hand strength.
Let me get my thought out. You're telling me
Right.
that this is now an equal in size army fighting for Jesus.
This is the army of Jesus. That's why they are the disciples. They are who follows Jesus wherever he should go.
So, okay. You see what it says here, name written in their foreheads. Can you let me get to my point? You've talked about 144,000 people being left and all the rest of it. You're talking about other people being marked with the mark of the beast in their foreheads, through either their hand or their foreheads, and you've given me your interpretation of what you believe. Worker,
Sure.
believer, right? Now you have an army of equal size with also a mark of Jesus. We can't say it's the mark of the beast because it's 666, but these people have the mark of Jesus written in their foreheads.
Right.
So you're telling me that then, from your interpretation, not an actual tattoo, not a microchip, these are just believers in Christ.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
That's because it's because they have actually been to physical heaven and then came back with Jesus. That's why they're really convinced.
So they went to heaven.
That's where they learned the new song and had their right hand strengthened for 5 months.
Oh, hold on. Who says that the 144,000 are singing it? No. It said the harpers are singing it, and again, in fucking verse 2, these people hear the fucking harpers. Don't tell me that they're the same thing again. This is clearly making a definitive thing about two people. You know what? I can't take it anymore. That's it. Show's over. Show's over. That's it. We're all going home.
And no one knew the song. That's where. No one could learn the song except for these. And they sung it as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts. They are singing a different tune.
The people who went to heaven. I'm going to get my fucking phrase out. I'm going to scream if you interrupt me this time, right? The people who've went to heaven are not the harpers. You can go to a concert and hear a concert in the motherfucker's house that owns the band, which we could refer to as heaven. And then that fucker can go and play in Punchestown in fucking Dublin. And you can be there and still be part of the following and still believe in them and know the song because you were in heaven the first time that they tried it out. It doesn't mean that you're in the band.
No, it doesn't mean you're in the band. But what does mean that you're in the band is no one could learn that song but the 144,000. That makes them in the band.
Yeah, of course, nobody could have learned it because they played it in their house first and only the audience could see.
That's right.
Yes. So that doesn't make them part of the band. That makes them a small audience in the first release. Intimate concert.
Perfect. That's a great way to say it.
It's just an intimate concert. People have intimate concerts with like 150 people.
Yes. Where was the intimate concert possible at?
Clearly in capital H, heaven.
Yes, clearly.
Right.
Okay, we have.
But that doesn't make them part of the band. That
I'm
just
not
makes
saying
them.
that they're angels already. I'm saying they're the army of God.
Right, but you made the statement not then fucking 2 minutes ago. But what does make them part of the band? And then give your justification.
I thought you were using band a different way. You corrected me. I accepted the correction. We moved on.
Good.
I misunderstood how you were using the term band right there.
Yeah, to mean audience.
Yes, a band can mean an audience.
Not if I'm watching a band.
We're a band of brothers. That doesn't mean we play instruments.
No, a band of brothers is the little group of you and your 5 friends who went to the concert, who's part of the bigger audience. The band is not an audience.
I misunderstood how you used the word band. That's all that happened.
Yes, you thought I meant audience.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So sorry.
Yeah.
People do use the word band that way.
So the band of people went to see the band.
Yes. Now
that's how people talk.
Let's make it worse for me. Yeah.
All right. As best as I can. Right. Give us a chapter or two there and we'll round up for the night.
I think there's a topic change right after that, isn't there? These were lamb followers. Here we go. Fly in the middle of heaven. No, that's a topic change right there at 6.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of God. Oh, I love the way that's put. They were without fault before the throne of God.
Yeah.
Directly stating that I can do no fault in the eyes of the person who's in charge. Reinforcing the fact of dictatorship and aliens, and you align with them and do what you're told and get in line, you'll do well. Empire
That's
fucking
good
mentality.
advice.
Yeah, empire mentality. Line up, fuckers. Be them slaves. Ends justifies the means. Don't stand up for yourself. Don't fight back. Just kneel down and bow before our overlord alien gods who claim not to be gods.
Well, it's solid advice for a person's survivability. I have to agree with that. That's definitely true.
Yeah, survivability.
Is it as bad as you make it sound? I don't think so. I think it's actually going to be awesome and excellent.
Yeah, you would.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, of course. It's like, yay.
And that's not because somebody beat me up or threatened me. That's
Would
not
you
why.
agree? Would you agree with the statement that a person may have possibility been convinced in the past that Nazism was wonderful, and if they stuck with Nazism, they would
Yes.
be well within the lines of their leader? Does that then necessarily make the statement that the Nazi believer, it's the best thing ever, make it the best thing ever? Yeah, you fucking
No.
dance. You fucking dance. You fucking know you can't answer.
We all know this dance.
It's sort of like the head nod thing, you know? It's like, what?
Dance a two-step, make it simple.
Right.
Get it down just right.
Richard, what is it tomorrow? You and Mac and Steve
Yes, and Zagros.
is joining tomorrow as well.
No, that's going to be on EA channel, but that is tomorrow.
Oh, that is tomorrow.
He is, I don't know the right term perfectly for what he does for a living. Anyway, he practices applied physics he's very educated. He's a nice guy. We're going to be talking about plausibility of David and Goliath as planets in our near solar system.
Yes,
And he's going to use, he has the apparently the correct calculations and knows how to apply those calculations, things I have no idea about.
yeah. On that
so we're
channel
gonna be
tomorrow,
doing that
this guy
tomorrow.
that plays with Sandbox is going to take Richard's information and give a chance to show that Richard's idea is true.
Now, or say that it absolutely cannot happen.
Or
Which you and I had fun with the Universe Sandbox a bit ago, but we never really tried to tweak the program to make it fit. He says he knows how to tweak the program to make it work.
could be an interesting watch. I won't give the motherfucker a review, but do me one favor. Just hit the record button when it starts, and then upload it to your channel tomorrow, so I can watch it on your channel. I won't give that.
I'd love to, and I appreciate the view.
Yeah, Richard's links are all in the description below. Saturday, as usual, we will have our open panels. Terry, if you're out there, always welcome, and everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Come by on a Saturday, we'll have a bit of crack, and as usual, I get you next Tuesday, Richard. You're not going on hiatus yet?
I don't even have a hiatus, or I left it in my other pants.
No, a hiatus, taking a break. You said you had to disappear.
I know what the word means. I was kidding. No, it's not time for me to take a break yet.
Right, so we will be back here next Tuesday then with Richard. Usual time, usual crack, unusual aliens. So, other than that, folks, thanks always.
Hey, you're an alien. I just want you to know that you're an alien.
Well, in reference to what?
We're transplanted here on purpose. We're aliens. We don't belong here.
Okay, we didn't evolve here. Aliens planted everything.
Yep.
Yep. And if you're stuck for questions, text Richard. He's got a direct line to God. He'll be able to sort it out.
Sometimes.
If the connection's good. It's early technology, you know?
No, it's just I suck at it.
Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for watching. And oh yes, on Thursday as well, I might be helping out on another channel, and we will be doing possibly an after party here on Thursday. Could be around 12, 1 o'clock UK time, 6, 7 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see about that, getting that schedule, getting it up. It's hard to book us time for an after party, but yeah, that'll be happening hopefully Thursday as well. So other than that, folks, think for yourselves and bye. Bye.